Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my late review for 90 Day Fiance. This is season 8, episode 4. Yes, this is last week's episode. No, I have not watched this week's episode. When will y'all get this week's episode? Sometime this week. Okay, I just don't know when. I'm gonna let that be. But do not forget to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, and all that goodness and stuff and whatnot, okay? Also remember to like this video, comment in the comment section, share it on your social media by hitting the little share button. You can follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. The link to all of my social media stuff is in the description box below. Remember to relax, to relate, to release, okay? To always center yourself and anyone around you. And always remember to inhale and exhale to breathe it on out, okay? Let's move on. So I like this season. Me doing these a week late does not mean I don't like the season. It was vacation time, and I'm like, and y'all know I hate watching 2-hour shows. It just takes so much energy out of me, okay? But we have Michael and Natalie, okay? Which I just don't see anything positive coming out of this towards the end. Because it's like if a cow wanted to date a duck because they both on a farm. Like, it don't work. It won't work. But for some reason, they still want to date and be a couple. This is what I get from them, okay? But anyway, so they up making breakfast or whatever. I'm saying he wants to make her some French toast, but she don't like it because it's too, as she says, too sugar. It's not good for her. Okay, so she get up and she cut up a carrot and she just eats a carrot, and then she's upset at the fact that he didn't go get food that she would like. I'm like, well, who bought the carrot? I mean, do you like carrots? You got a carrot. I'm not saying he should have had more than just a carrot or whatnot, but I'm like, at least you got that carrot or whatever. So she keeps bringing up, it's so cold here. Like, it's the winter time. Why did I come here in the winter or whatever? The house is more like a trailer than the actual house. The walls are very, very thin. It's a huge change for me. Now, seeing the whole house, they did like a little shot up. I'm like, oh, it is like a little house on the prairie or whatever. And it looked like a she shed by the seashore. They made into a house or whatnot. So I get what she mean by it may be thin walls. I still feel like he don't have the heat on because he keeps being up. Well, no, it's wintertime and it's cold. It's wintertime here in Michigan too, okay? Well, right now it's only like 35 degrees. It's not that cold. But still, even when it gets like, 0 degrees outside, if our heat is on, we won't be freezing. Now, maybe it's because she don't have no meat on her bones. I don't know. But, Mike, is the heat on? So the following day, okay, he like, okay, let's go out. I'll drive you around town so you can see the town and whatnot. And they drive around, and again, he live in like a little town. Oh, this is really a small little town. Like, I can't believe it's this little. I'm like, how did you not know? I'm like, it's your fault for not Googling where you moving to. If anybody Google Detroit, it won't be a small city. If you Google Roseville, that's a small ass city. You can go to the surrounding cities too, but you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to Google. Yeah, you're supposed to Google where you're moving to so that you're not surprised when it ain't shit there. Okay, anyway, she mentions how it's some small landmark that she wants to go to, but he like, well, yeah, but that's like 2 or 3 hours away. Like, we can't drive there today. Like, we would have to make a weekend of it, and we can do that in 2 weeks. So we can't do it this weekend. I have to work. But we can go in 2 weeks. She's then upset because they can't go right now, or they can't go in a couple days. I'm looking like, he has to work. It's 2 hours away. Like, some people, we don't do that around here. And it's winter time there. Lord forbid it's a damn storm. She just don't get it. She don't get it. Now she upset. She pouting. I can't believe he can't go. I'm like, he just told you the whole reason. She mad. I need some time to myself and just to walk around. She's walking around the goddamn parking lot of the gas station that he didn't pull over into. I'm looking like she is dumb diddy if I ever saw it. He go up to her and give her a hug and she cry. He like, why are you crying? I don't know. I'm just upset because we can't go. Girl, if there was ever a white woman tears being cried, she was crying the white woman's tears, meaning you are crying over nothing. You're crying over something that does not really, it's not a criable offense. And I get she may be overwhelmed at the change of it all, but I like that he like, well, talk to me. Like, you can't just not say anything and I can just figure shit out. Just dumb Diddy. And that's all there was with them. She needs Jesus. Next up, we have newcomer Stephanie. Stephanie is 52 years old and she's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's like a couple hours outside of Detroit. It ain't Detroit at all. Like, that's a whole other. It's a whole other city of Michigan. But again, it's not that far from Detroit or whatever. So she has met. We meet her and she was hula hooping. She was wearing these weird sunglasses that has like a green fluorescent light that she said helps her sleep. I'm like, 'cause it probably scared your eyes and they want to get some rest or whatever. And she takes youth serum shots every day. So she gives herself a shot of something in her hip to make herself look young. I mean, her face looks surgical, but I'm gonna leave that be. I mean, she looks good for 52 for a person who's had a lot of work done to their face. Anyway, so she owns medical spas. People who own medical spas usually look like this because they consistently is getting things poked into their face, and that's just not smart or whatever. So she brings up how her life was not always so, amazingly well or whatnot, because she does really well with her medical spas and everything. But she brings up how her father was bipolar, so her childhood was very, very hard because it was emotionally unstable. I was like, that's not fun, okay? So she brings up how she didn't date much, like she wasn't like a serious dater. She was busy, building her empire or whatever. So she's dated here and there, but like never like, oh, I love this person, wants to marry him. Like, she's never had that feeling until now. And meet her 27-year-old boyfriend, fiance or whatever, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan is 27. She met him 3 years ago in Belize. And I'm like, he looked like he looked like he possibly has a good penis, but he's gonna definitely run her pockets. I feel like it's gonna be a penis pocket robbing person and whatnot, okay? And she said, that over the 3 years where they've known each other, because again she met him in Belize, that every like 3 or so months she would go over there to visit him. So they've been dating that way to where she's consistently taking trips over there to see her boyfriend, who's again 27, which means that they've been talking for 3 years. He was 24 and she was 49 because she's 52. Yeah, so again, it's still been a whole little age gap or whatever. So she brings up how he's just so this, he's so that. I like him so much. I'm like, he's a handsome man. Okay, he's a handsome man and whatever. And we see at the bottom picture he cut his braids. So they applied for the K1 visa. I'm like, did he propose? Because she went from we was talking for 3 years and going back and forth to we applied for the K1. So who proposed who? I'm going to leave that be. So again, she said, so they got approval, okay, of the K1 visa. However, because of COVID, the interview he has to do to get fully approved is on hold because the embassy is closed. So again, that kind of put a hold to a lot of these couples stuff this season or whatever. So she brings up how because he lives there, whatever, she's like, recently since we've been on hold with the embassy or whatever, I haven't talked to him that often or whatever. Like, he's kind of, been busy, but he talked to his mom every day. So I reach out to his mom and times when I can't talk to him. And I'm like, you have to call his mother to find out what he's doing, and he's, girl, and she is 5 years older than his mother. Anyway, she hasn't seen him in 9 months. Again, it's just different. So on the phone with his mama, she's like, oh, have you talked to Ryan? She's like, yeah, I talked to him today. If you know he talked with mama every day, but he don't call you at all, something is wrong here. But I'm leave that be or whatever. But again, he like, well, let him know that I'm trying to call him and talk to him or whatever. Okay, bye. I'm like, girl, it's just dumb. It's just he doesn't contact you as much now, and you have to call his mama to get tabs. Oh, but I want to take the risk of being with him because I love him, whatever. And I'm gonna let my walls down because I've been so protected my whole life. I'm like, you should not let your walls down with a 27-year-old man from Belize who looks like he got a big penis, but he gonna be in your pockets. Girl, I cannot. And then when I seen her on the floor feeding her cat with a spoon while waiting on her psychic to come and talk to her about Ryan, I said, girl, she is cuckoo, cuckoo. Okay, she's gonna be a whole hoot. Okay, anyway, so we do see Ryan does video call her. Okay, and when Ryan video calls, where's the picture? So he video calls her and the friend, okay, that's a psychic friend or whatever, and they just are talking. I'm looking like, it's just seeing too much. And she's like, oh, so I was trying to call you. Where were you? He said, oh, I was on the pier getting some fish because people wanted me to make them some fish and chips or whatever food he said he was trying to make. Oh, okay, well that's fine or whatever. And then, oh yeah, I love you too. I'm looking like, girl, penis and pockets, okay, penis and pockets. Anyway, so when she talking to her little psychic friend and whatnot, the lady doing like a tarot reading, oh, there's another woman in his life or whatever. Is this thing going on and that going on? Now Stephanie then admits, well, I have called him in the past because of things in his phone and him talking to other women. At one point, I called him on the phone with 3 different women, you know what I'm saying, about a year ago. And I was real pissed off. I kicked him out my hotel room or whatever. I was so mad. I thought it was over forever. And his cousin came over, okay? And when his cousin came over to help console me, I ended up fucking his cousin. I was like, Stephanie fucked Ryan's cousin? More penis in the pocket? Girl, up here fucking the penis for cousins. Do not do that to yourself. So Ryan don't know that Stephanie fucked his cousin a year ago because they got back together, of course. But again, I'm like, no, not the cousin, girl. And why the cousin looking like Rico Suave? I just could not, girl. I say this is going to be a good ass story. I can't wait to see it. I'm like, Ryan don't know his fiance fucked his cousin, girl. But my thing is, Stephanie, that's why she don't mind him not calling her, because she fucked his cousin. Next up, we have Brandon and Julia. So they've all gone home to the farm, okay? Down home on the farm. Ain't that the song, is it? I don't care. Anyway, so they at the farm or whatever, and they're taking her around to see all the animals here and the animals there and the animals every fucking where. And this is how you feed the pigs. This is how you. I'm like, why is they showing her like she's a help? And they really feel like we're going to show you this stuff today, and then tomorrow we expect you to do it. I'm looking like, first of all, is this slave labor? Did y'all kidnap? Look, this is my thing. I would not do it. It could not be me. And the way that they're acting as if, oh yeah, you just do this and you do that. I'm not a farmer. I also would not marry a farmer because I would not want to farm. Now, she said, like, I like animals, but I do not want to take care of them. I do not want to work on a farm. I feel like Brandon did not tell her, when we get married, I would need you to be a whole farmer's wife and taking care of Lulabelle and the ducklings and the horselings and whatever other animals on the farm or whatnot, because she's clearly not about that life. So they get in the house and whatever, because she do say to us, I'll be here for a month, and if in a month I don't like it, like if I can't get used to being here, I'm going to leave and move on, okay, because I'm not doing this shit. So they get in the house and they show her room, which to me looked like a little storage room with a bed. And I mean, it was a bedroom, but it was so much other shit in there around the bed. I'm looking like, y'all ain't shit for now moving all that stuff outside to the outhouse or to the barn with the horses. It was like paint jars in there. Why is it paint jars in that girl's room? And she was like, oh, okay, she don't like it. I don't like it. They then walk her to the kitchen. Why is it crickets? Girl, They had crickets on egg cartons in a trash can in the kitchen because the crickets is for the chameleon. I'm like, a chameleon? Girl, lions and tigers and bears and chameleons around this bitch? No, not me. And she's like, oh my God. But what if the crickets jump out and they're around the house? Oh no, they won't jump out. How do you know? Do you count them? Anyway, so she like, I just don't feel comfortable in this house. It's just so different being here. It's just so weird or whatever. And so she tells all of them, like, I'm scared. I feel uncomfortable sleeping here. I don't want to sleep alone my first night being here. Meaning I want to sleep with my fiance. Okay, I don't feel comfortable. The parents is like, well, you should feel more weird sleeping in our house with him when y'all not married. I'm looking like, girl. Oh, people, look, I get the fact that that is their house and it is their rules. I also feel like for that reason, y'all need to move out. Okay? Periods. And I'm like, it's going to be all, it's like parents talking to their 17-year-old kid who girlfriend is over for a sleepover and she like, you cannot sleep with, they both legally grown, like they are grown and engaged, getting married. Like, I don't see, because as they said, you not letting us sleep in the same bed do not mean we not gonna fuck. His parents is childish, okay? But again, that's their house, is their rules. But I'll be like, bitch, not today, not with me. Anyway, we then see Rebecca and Zaid, or Zied. I think it's Zied. So they still wait on him to be approved for a visa. She sit in the park and keep hitting refresh to whatever page that gives them information to the appeal process, the K1 visa process, and she keep refreshing and whatever, talking to producers, refreshing. She was like, oh my God. It went from saying like pending to saying approved. So I guess within the time frame of her, just checking it, it was approved or whatever. I also feel like they made that up and they knew he was being approved. Who knows? Anyway, but it did seem like genuine happiness. I'll say that. But again, she's happy. She calls Zaid over there, whatever. Guess what? You're approved. You're coming over. Oh my God, baby. I'm so happy, baby. I love you, baby. I'm going to come over there, baby. I'm like, okay. We will see you later. We do see him over there packing to come here. His parents is sad he leaving or whatever. He's sad to be leaving, but ain't no one stop him from coming. He's coming over here. And that was all it was with him. I was like, if it was more, I don't remember it. He coming and we'll see what happens when he gets here, okay? We then have Jovi and Yara. Y'all know I don't like her. He ain't all that either because he was a bit of an asshole this episode, but I feel like she deserved it a little bit. Anyway, so, they sit around the house and whatnot, and girl, I hate this house. I hate everything is in it. She just don't like the decor, the furniture. She don't like anything. It all looks cheap. It's not my style. Blah, 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 blah. So, Jovi agrees. Okay, well, let's go to the store. We can get some stuff or whatever. We're gonna get a mirror and a rug because she wanted a mirror and a rug for right now because there's like no big mirror in the house. So again, he like, I'm gonna get it. Fine. So as they're walking around this little store, I like this, I like that, I like that couch. She's seen other things that she wants to buy. I will say the apartment is small. It's nice, but small. And if it's decked out the right way, it'll be fine. But they don't need no big house. It's just the two of them. I'm gonna leave that. And again, I don't think he really wanted to be with her all the way. So he knew not to get, too much of whatever. So, Jovi's just not happy being in there walking around shopping. He's like, I don't like shopping. Like, let's get something or whatever, let it be that. And so the sales clerk like, oh, so you guys are here, blah, blah, blah. So what area do y'all stay in? And when he said whatever area it was, she's like, oh, that's a nice area. That's a nice part of town or whatever. Joey then says to y'all, well, you see, I told y'all you should really stop complaining because she acts like it's like, the crack rate. She was like, no, that's the part where you want to live or whatever. And even if it's small to you, that's great for that area or whatever. And so he so I told you so. So, just like it's really bad. So, he also stopped being mean about shit too. And he then said you need to learn English. And I was like, here we go. Don't do that. So the rug she picked was like a white rug with like sparkles in it. He like, I don't like that rug. I'm not putting it in my apartment. I don't like it. Now the issue was him saying I'm not putting that rug in my apartment. He should say our apartment. But I don't disagree with him when saying that if I don't like it, we don't have to buy it. Like, why can't we find a white rug that we both like? Because I'm okay with a white rug. It's not a white one with sparkles. And I was like, I get that. I do feel like a white rug with sparkles is for a girl's apartment or a girl's whatever. And if y'all are getting things for y'all both, if you picked a white rug, just pick a regular ass white rug. I'm like, I just don't have time. But because he don't like the rug and how he's been acting, Yara's not pissed. But I'm like, I don't care because I feel like Yara's an asshole. Now the sales clerk like, you should not be so mean to her. He's like, you don't get it. She's difficult. But Yara's pissed because again he kept saying my apartment, my apartment, my apartment. And I do feel like you can't say that shit, bro. Don't do that. So she pissed and she leaves. He go after her or whatever. And in the car, he like, look, I have no issue with you getting a white rug, but why can't we get one that we both like? I did not like that one rug that you liked or whatever. Now, my issue is you kept saying it was your apartment and you didn't like that rug. I'm looking like, bitch, girl, stop immediately. Okay, he told you I just cannot. I can't. Anyway, he admits that he was wrong for saying my apartment or whatever. But he also feel like, well, look, it's our apartment or whatever, blah, 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 and you forget that before you got here, I had to get things to make it look decent or whatever, and I was just trying to make sure that it was something here. I don't mind getting stuff. I'm sorry about you getting mad in the store, fine, if you want to live here, it's fine. We will get what you want, okay? And I need all new stuff if you want me to stay here. He say, fine, order whatever you want and I'll pay for it. I'm like, see, that's why she a bitch, because she a bitch him on and he just do it. He then has to throw away a table that was broken. I don't get why the broken table was still in there in the first place or whatever. So she makes him throw that out, and then some other dresser or table that was in there, she makes him throw out, and then it's just space. But I'm like, girl, I don't care. And he like, I get that she's new here and she may not be fully happy, whatever, but she also needs to realize that she's gonna have to make compromises for us to be like, it can't be this me giving in to what she want. I'm like, I think y'all both batshit crazy, but again, you wanted her, you brought her here. And then we see Andrew and Amira. So it is 42 days left on her visa. Okay, so she's flying to Mexico, to New Mexico now, because at this time flights to America from France are not allowed. So they're hoping again, if she flies to New Mexico, she gets sent to New Mexico. She then stays there for 14 days to quarantine, and then she should be able to come into the U.S. And then he's going to be there with her in Mexico. I'm like, this is like, it's like a couple using the pull-out method. Like, the pull-out method doesn't work. I mean, people do it because sometimes it does work. You just try your luck. But I'm like, you should not be using the pull-out method when trying to get somebody in the U.S. You just should not do that or whatever, because it don't guarantee it's going to work. But Andrew was there waiting for Amira in New Mexico, and he gets a message from her father that Amira was detained in the airport. And I'm like, Lord Jesus Christ. And so at this point in time, I'm like, see, the pull-out method did not work and now she's pregnant. And he's like, I have no idea what to do, where she is, or what's going on. Because again, he's called them the airport or whatever, and no one there who's answering the phone speaks English. And he doesn't speak Spanish. So it's just a whole, we don't know what's going on. So he ends up going to his hotel room to wait to figure out the next thing to do. And I'm like, this is why you do not use the pull-out method when trying to get into the U.S. Because again, no one knew for a fact that, this 100% works. It's just like someone said, well, I did this and this worked for me. But again, it may not work in general. So again, we have to wait and see what happens with them. But she's currently being detained not in Mexico. Nobody wants to be detained in Mexico. But anyway, That was the whole episode. Peace.